For nearly a century, the Murdaugh family ruled the low country of South Carolina. They weren't just wealthy, they weren't just respected, they controlled the legal system. For over 80 years, 3 generations of Murdaugh men served as powerful prosecutors. They decided who was charged, who was protected, and who was ignored. Judges knew their name. Police answered their calls. And in small towns across the region, people learned one thing early. You don't cross the Murdaughs. Alex Murdaugh was born into that power. He grew up watching the law bend in his family's favor. As an adult, he became a successful attorney himself, winning massive settlements and living a life of privilege. To the public, Alex was charming, a devoted husband, a proud father, a respected lawyer. But behind closed doors, his world was collapsing. For years, Alex had been stealing. Not small amounts, millions of dollars. Money meant for injured clients, grieving families, and vulnerable people who trusted him. He moved the money through fake bank accounts. He forged signatures. He lied effortlessly. And for years, no one stopped him. By 2021, the pressure was closing in. Alex's law firm had begun questioning missing funds. Auditors were circling, and a devastating criminal trial loomed for his youngest son. In 2019, Paul Murdaugh had been involved in a fatal boat crash. He was drunk, reckless, and a young woman named Mallory Beach was killed. Witnesses said Paul showed no remorse. The case threatened to expose the family publicly, something that had never happened before. Maggie Murdaugh, Alex's wife, reportedly felt uneasy. She confided in friends that something felt wrong. She was hesitant to stay at the family property known as Moselle. Then, on June 7, 2021, everything changed. That night, Alex Murdaugh called 911. He told the dispatcher he had just discovered his wife and son dead, shot multiple times near the dog kennels on their property. His voice sounded shaken, but controlled. Police arrived to a horrifying scene. Paul had been shot at close range with a shotgun. The damage was catastrophic. Maggie had been shot multiple times with a rifle as she tried to run. 2 victims, 2 weapons, no signs of forced entry. Alex told investigators he had been away visiting his mother. He claimed he returned home and found the bodies. At first, law enforcement treated him as a grieving husband and father. But almost immediately, inconsistencies appeared. Alex's timeline didn't align with phone data. His steps didn't match his movements. His story shifted in small but noticeable ways. Then came the evidence that changed everything. Paul's phone. Just minutes before his death, Paul recorded a short video at the kennels. It was meant to show a sick dog, but investigators heard something else. In the background of that video, they heard Alex Murdaugh's voice. Alex had insisted he wasn't there. That single recording destroyed his alibi. As investigators widened the scope, the case exploded. They uncovered years of financial crimes, millions stolen from clients, victims who were never paid, a web of lies stretching back over a decade. The murders no longer looked random. They looked desperate. On the very day Maggie and Paul were killed, Alex had been confronted by his law firm about missing money. His career was about to collapse. His reputation was about to be destroyed. Prosecutors believed the murders were a calculated distraction, a way to shift focus, to buy time. But Alex wasn't finished lying. Months later, In September 2021, Alex called police again. This time, he claimed someone had tried to kill him on the side of a rural road. He said a passing truck shot him in the head. The story made national headlines, but it unraveled almost immediately. Investigators learned Alex had staged the entire event. He had arranged for someone to shoot him, not to kill him, but to create sympathy. The motive? Insurance money. By then, the illusion was gone. Alex Murdaugh was arrested, charged with dozens of financial crimes, and eventually with murder. The trial became a national obsession. Jurors listened to weeks of testimony. They heard about the stolen millions, the lies, the manipulations. They heard the kennel video again and again. Prosecutors argued that Alex murdered his wife and son to protect himself, to delay exposure, to control the narrative one last time. The defense argued there was no direct evidence, no murder weapon, no eyewitness. But the story no longer held. In March 2023, the jury reached a verdict: guilty. Alex Murdaugh was convicted of murdering Maggie and Paul. He was sentenced to life in prison. The man who once controlled the justice system was destroyed by it. A powerful dynasty collapsed under the weight of its own corruption. And one of the most shocking true crime stories in modern American history came to an end. Follow Midnight Truth for real cases where power fails, lies collapse, and the truth finally comes out.